EAFC, formerly known as FIFA, is an online football game where you can play alone or against friends, developed by Electronic Arts. Today, I will be critically analysing the latest installment in the franchise, EAFC 25, and more specifically, the game's multiplayer mode, Ultimate Team. I've played EAFC for years now. This is the 6th game in a row that I have bought, with me skipping a few years before that. The first incarnation of FIFA was released in 1993, and over 30 years later there has been 32 FIFA games. I believe that it's an excellent game to keep busy and have a laugh with your mates. It also scratches the football itch when there's no games on or an international break. Although I know the game is very flawed, it is always one I end up going back to playing every single year. When I play the game, the 2 game modes I play are Career Mode and Ultimate Team, with the latter being my favourite. Electronic Arts see Ultimate Team as a very valuable asset, with the game mode alone in 2020 making £1.15 billion. Now, for those who don't know what Ultimate Team is, it's an online game mode on EAFC, introduced back in FIFA 09 back in 2009 as a downloadable add-on, and later in FIFA 12 in 2012 added to the base game. Now, the point of this game mode is to play different types of games, complete objectives, and to earn packs to improve your team. Winning games gives you coins which allow you to purchase better players, and completing objectives gives you packs which give you the opportunity of packing players in the game like Mbappe, Ronaldo, or Messi. There are also problem-solving games which don't involve playing football, which is squad-building challenges, where the player is given a requirement and has to build a team to complete it, which in return gives players back. As you can see, there is several layers to this game mode, making it more than just a football game. I personally really enjoy doing squad-building challenges. It's normally the thing I do the most within the game, as I find it quite satisfying to get a really good player at the end of it. Sometimes the objectives are way too hard for me to build the team, but nonetheless I really enjoy doing it anyway. But before I analyse the other aspects of the game, first we will look at the actual game itself. Now, is it any good? Is it any different to the previous game? No. The day before I played FC 25, I played FC 24, and to be completely honest with you, I saw absolutely no difference in gameplay at all. So here on screen right now is the menus for FC 25 and FC 24, and apart from 1 or 2 little differences and perhaps quicker loading, the games are identical. The menus are exactly the same colour scheme. If anything, the menus in the new FIFA are worse. Every year, EA claim the gameplay is better and they use data or whatever to improve the game, but I have noticed tiny differences over the years. The biggest leap in gameplay was FIFA 21, when the game was enhanced for the next generation consoles like PS5 and Xbox X. But since then, the gameplay is almost identical. The game still includes animations and cutscenes from previous FIFAs. As I am critically analysing FC 25, my first topic I would like to discuss is women in FC 25. Now, women in EAFC is nothing new. They were introduced way back in 2016, and you could play with them in career mode, offline, and friendlies. Last year in FC 24, they introduced women into the Ultimate Team game mode, which caused some controversy. Popular Twitch streamer iShowedSpeed said in EAFC 24 when packing a girl, saying, "What the f*** is that? A girl? What the f*** is that?" EA did respond saying Ultimate Team to us is a mode where you can have a mix of players and you can build the best team, and we think that's going to be great for football. It's going to be great for our fans and our future. Humphreys said that people outside the gamer identity are marginalised discursively, if not numerically. Stereotypically, women don't play video games and aren't gamers, which isn't the case because there are many women out there that game. But what Humphreys is saying can be applied to women in Ultimate Team. Up until FC 24, women weren't in Ultimate Team, so them being in the game now feels foreign to a lot of players. I believe the issue players have isn't the actual women players themselves, perhaps what they curve instead. When you open a pack and see French striker for PSG, you think you've packed Mbappe, but instead you've packed Marie Catato for straight players. Anna Anthropy said that game publishers have created a dangerous cycle by repeatedly creating games for young men already entrenched in the existing culture of games. Now, it's no secret that EAFC is targeted towards white male players aged between 16 to 25, with some of the older players buying every installment of the game. And with women being added in the last 2 installments, makes the players feel threatened, with them feeling like they don't belong in their game. Jennifer Malkowski and Triandra M. Rushworm have said that gaming studios are frequently criticised for a lack of diverse representation within their products. But when effort is made to include more female characters, or in this instance, female players, the player community gives them backlash. But to play devil's advocate, I don't use women players very often in EAFC 25. I personally find them slightly weaker than most male players in-game. Now, Chloe Kelly is in my starting 11 as I find her to be a very fast player, and good pace in FC 25 makes or breaks a team. But I do believe by adding women into Ultimate Team is absolutely amazing for those who want to play with their favourite female stars. And for those who don't want to use them, they'd be excellent for squad building challenges. The second topic I would like to discuss is flow and emotion. Now, flow is the experience of intense absorption that a player often feels when playing a game. A good game will have flow in it. Flow is the main design principle that game designers use. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi explained flow as a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience is so enjoyable that people will continue to do it even at a great cost, for the sheer sake of doing it. Flow can be a joy, but it can also be anger, which is something you experience a lot in this game. Now, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi boiled down the 8 traits of flow, which we can apply to FC 25. The first trait is a challenging activity requiring skill. Throughout the duration of the game, you must learn different skills and understand the best team formation and player roles. The second, a merging of action and awareness. If the player is familiar with football, then the player will fit right in and are aware of all the best players and the idea of the game as they are familiar with the sport. Long-time players also know what time new players are getting released and know what the best challenges to complete are. Third, clear goals. Get the best squad to become the best team, win games, win rewards. Fourth, direct immediate feedback. When you score within game, the game controller vibrates to give you the sense of realism. Fifth, concentration on the task at hand. When you are in a game, all you are doing is thinking about winning and maybe what objectives the players need to do during this game. Sixth, a sense of control. The player creates the team, decide what players and what their roles are. You, as the player, ultimately decide if your team wins or lose. Seventh, a loss of self-consciousness. When you play the game, you aren't aware of the stuff going on around you or outside your room. And last but not least, eighth, an altered sense of time. An average game on FC 25 is around 12 to 15 minutes. So after just 2 or 3 games and going through the menus and in between, an hour of your day is gone just like that. With that all being considered, yes, you do experience flow while playing EAFC 25. Jane McGonigal said, video games made it possible to experience flow almost immediately. But while you are in a state of flow, it makes you more emotional. With a game like EAFC 25, it is very easy to grow an emotional connection with the game very quickly. Now, although the game is fictional, the time you invest into the game, the planning, the decision making and all the wins mean a lot to the player, which in return develops an emotional response to the player. The frustration and rage players experience with this game is because the difficult curve is too much. The player is chasing for the winning feeling they have experienced before. The term "it's just a game" ignores all the investment and hard work the players put into the game. 2 examples of this in EAFC 25 is losing games and rewards. Now, no one likes losing, but when you are losing against a player after them playing all these skills on you, it can be extremely frustrating, trust me. And secondly, rewards. Within the game, you could spend hours working towards a pack, and then to open it and get a rubbish player can be very disheartening. Ultimately, the player is in a parasocial relationship with the game, and the player will care more about the game than the game cares about them. Parasocial interaction is one-sided. Players within the game want their choices to be validated and to pay off, and this creates an emotional response. If you used up all your coins to get Cole Palmer, you want him to be good, so if he isn't, the player gets angry. Grounded cognition explains why a game or player is important to me and not to you. For example, I am a Chelsea supporter and a big fan of Cole Palmer, meaning in the game I'm slightly biased towards him. I want him to be my star player, so give him the time to perform. Whereas other players I won't have that patience for. And on a deeper level, that's why I always come back to this game. And after all the issues, I keep coming back. It's because it's grounded in my wider life experience and my love towards football. The last topic I would like to discuss is pay to win in FC 25. FC points, formerly known as FIFA points, are available to players at a variety of prices for them to purchase. These gives them the points which allow them to open packs. Griffiths said, unlike gambling in a casino, you're going to get something out of that pack, maybe just not the thing you wanted. Simply, this game is encouraging gambling, using real money to get points to use on opening mystery packs to try and get the best card is gambling. Griffiths added, the mechanisms underlying the effectiveness of loot boxes are considered similar, if not identical, to the reward schemes that are used in the design of slot machines, making them addictive by design. This system has been in the game for years, with it being at the stage of hegemony. The game is teaching us to gamble and take risks without realising it. I've personally never bought FC points. I don't see the value in purchasing them, just for it to not matter in a year when I purchase the next game. But many people aren't like that. Perhaps younger players persuade their parents to purchase points just for the potential of packing a player to improve their team to show off to their mates. Interestingly, Griffiths said that it could be argued that the money or prize to be won should be of greater financial value than the money staked in the first place. The value of the in-game player or the card is created by Electronic Arts, but determined by the players, meaning that perhaps a card has good statistics but doesn't play well in-game, or vice versa, therefore the players value them themselves. Funnily enough, unlike other games, the franchise has a transfer market, with showing the value of cards going up and down. All this being said, the card or pack itself has no real-world value to it, just within the game to the players. Because of this, that's where the pay-to-win argument comes in, as the value you get from these packs are better footballers, so you can become a better player within the game. This creates a divide in the player base, as if you are rich and have the money to pour into the game, you will likely become a better player because of financial reasons. There is a proposal to ban under 18s from being able to purchase loot boxes in the UK, but is currently still being looked into at the time of recording this. Loot boxes and packs are becoming more and more common within the game industry, featuring in many games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Overwatch. Hopefully, with the new potential restrictions to loot boxes, we will see a change within the gaming industry. To conclude, I really enjoy playing this game with my mates. Currently, I'm enjoying the co-op seasons mode with my mate, and then going back to Ultimate Team when I'm playing alone. Playing co-op seasons is a lot of fun at the moment, trying to win as much as I can with my mate. I enjoy jumping onto this game for an hour or two to relax and see how many times I can win before I give up. Seeing my team in Ultimate Team come together is great as well. Currently, I've been quite fortunate this season so far, packing some great players like Kevin De Bruyne. The game is very flawed, with many problems from previous FC games bleeding through into this game as well, like poor loading screens, poor servers, lag, slow feedback, and the players who do nothing but play this game and beat you 6-0. But that can't take away the fact that the game is still fun to play with friends and create your own dream football team.